The apocalypse arrived. Zombies roam, while others search through the rubble. I opened a 24-hour convenience store. Mineral water sells for 5 grams of gold, antibiotics for 50 grams, a silent non-stick pan for 500 grams. Everyone said I was crazy, until I used a serum to save a girl who had been bitten. The city's madmen started coming for me, to end up searching for gold. Meanwhile, a man in a white suit smiled on the radio. "Store owner, the order you're selling has disrupted my game of evolution." At that moment, I was wearing noise-canceling headphones, cleaning a spot on the counter, pretending not to see the zombie horde 10 centimeters from my nose. How annoying. I took off the headphones. I looked at the smudge on the glass with the annoyance of someone with obsessive-compulsive disorder. I just cleaned this window yesterday. You people have no sense of public hygiene. Then, I pulled an unlabeled blue spray bottle from under the counter, aimed it at the door, and pressed the nozzle firmly. A light blue mist passed through the glass, and the crazed zombie horde was stunned. Then, as if they had met their natural predator, they fled in terror in all directions, within a 10-meter radius in front of the door. The area was empty in an instant. The system announced, "Repellent cleaning solution, trial version, used successfully. Inventory consumed. 1, remaining, 99. Just then, a faint, trembling sound came from the door. The automatic door opened again, and a man covered in mud crawled in. Under his tattered suit, his left arm was gone. "Help! Save me!" His face was pale, and with his last bit of strength, he dragged himself to the counter, his bloodshot eyes fixed on the hot sausages in the display case. Food. Water. He reached out his dirty hand to grab my pants. I took a step back, dodging him precisely, and said in a businesslike tone, "Welcome. The store doesn't offer credit. If you dirty the floor, you'll have to pay a cleaning fee." The man was stunned for a moment, then frantically searched his pockets. "I have money." He pulled out a soaked leather wallet, took a handful of mud-covered bills, and slapped them on the counter. 110,000. It's all for you. Give me water and painkillers." I looked at the bills as if they were scrap paper. "Sorry, the store doesn't accept trash. You should know the current exchange rate." Then, I pointed to the electronic screen above the counter. On it, blood-red text scrolled by. "Today's exchange rate. 1 gram of gold equals 1 point. Mineral water, 500 milliliters, 5 points. Beef stew noodles, 10 points. Basic antibiotic, 1 capsule, 50 points." The man's pupils contracted, and he suddenly ripped the gold chain from his neck. "This'll work." I took the gold chain and placed it on the electronic scale. A red light flashed. 24-karat gold, 52 grams, minus 10%. Commission, that comes to 46.8 points. Minus 5 points for the cleaning fee. Your available balance is 41.8 points. "I want water and the medicine," he roared. I turned around and took a bottle of mineral water, and from a locked box, I took out a red capsule. "Water, 5 points. Adrenaline emergency capsule, 35 points. You have 1.8 points left. I suggest you buy a sausage." I passed the scanner over the gold chain. It turned into a ray of golden light that entered the cash register. Transaction complete. The man snatched the capsule, popped it into his mouth, and gulped down the mineral water. The bleeding from his amputated arm stopped instantly. He opened the sausage and devoured it. "This is a miracle. You are..." "What?" I put my headphones back on, cleaning the dirty counter. "I'm just a cashier. Call me Sumu. Lunchtime is over. The next customer is about to arrive." The man turned and saw the zombies gathered outside the glass again. Behind them were a few armed survivors, with a look fiercer than the zombies. The rain had stopped, but the smell of blood in the air was even thicker. The one-armed man, named Guangcheng, didn't dare stay in the store. He had barely run 50 meters when several shadows tackled him. The leader was a bald guy with a scar on his face named 𝐀𝐩𝐨𝐽, the local thug boss. He licked the grease from the sausage wrapper, his greedy gaze fixed on the store. "Brothers, come with me. $0 shopping if the owner doesn't cooperate. Chop him into pieces for the zombies." 7 or 8 burly men with weapons, covered in blood, entered the store. The door chimed. Without looking up, I kept cleaning the counter. "Gentlemen, when entering the store, please wipe your feet. The mat is at the entrance." 𝐀𝐩𝐨𝐽 kicked over a shelf and potato chips scattered across the floor. He stomped on the chips and slammed a machete on the counter. "Wipe my feet. My ass, get out all the food, cigarettes, and alcohol." The music kept playing. I stopped what I was doing. I raised my head and looked at him calmly. Damaged potato chips, 15 points. Repair for counter scratches, 50 points. Insulting staff, compensation for emotional distress, 100 points. Total, 165 points. For now, we only accept gold. How would you like to pay? The group fell silent, then burst into laughter. 𝐀𝐩𝐨𝐜 grabbed me by the collar of my shirt, his breath foul. It hit me in the face. Kid, you see this knife in my hand? You think I want mince you for the zombies? He lifted me off the ground by my collar. My face was expressionless, and I said into the air, System, activate level 1 violation, threat of violence against staff. Warning, violent behavior detected. Level 1 violation, executing protocol, physical expulsion. A cold mechanical voice resonated in everyone's mind. The ceiling lamps flipped over, revealing small turbines. A hum, and a terrible, invisible gravitational force fell upon them. 𝐀𝐩𝐨𝐜 fell to his knees, his kneecaps shattering as he screamed in pain. His henchmen were crushed to the floor, feeling as if their organs would be expelled and their weapons deformed. I adjusted my wrinkled collar and, scanner in hand, approached 𝐀𝐩𝐨𝐜. I told you, violence is not allowed in this store. I crouched down and scanned his terrified face. According to Rule 3, thieves will have all valuables confiscated and will be blacklisted. From his pocket, I pulled out a gold ring, 2 gold teeth, and also a Rolex. Gold rings, 4. Gold teeth, 8. The watch contains no gold, not accepted. Successful recovery, 165 points deducted. 30 points of debt remain. Forgive it this time. I stood up and snapped my fingers. Get them out. The gravitational force instantly turned into a repulsive force. 𝐀𝐻𝐨 and his men were shot out like cannonballs. Outside the door, they fell spectacularly onto the muddy path. The glass door closed, and a small wooden sign on it swayed. Hours. 24 hours, except during cleaning. I took the broom to sweep up the chips. Wasting food is a shame. Outside, 𝐀𝐻𝐨, with broken legs, writhed in the mud. In the darkness, countless blue zombie eyes